He's just terrific, and appreciate him. And Connie's helping with the refreshments tonight, and just a willing heart. Chris Ebert, also, Chris is a board member, Mary Chris, and she contributes so much to Fish and Game, and she wears several hats, and she gave us some good insight and balance, kept us on track. Kathy Tuttle, you've already talked to Kathy. She's also a board member. She's a cup running over with enthusiasm and support, for sure. Appreciate her very much. And lastly, we have Robert Ivanovich, and also known as Ivan, and he's our poet, our creative spirit, and just a great team that we've had. So I want to thank each and every one of you for your Our programs are all outlined in our posters that are everywhere, and I'm sure you've seen them, and on the website, and we also have brochures, you know, and as a reminder, tomorrow we're having a hike, and it's a Ontonagon Trail hike, and it's coordinated with Ivan and Bob Zielinski, and this is sort of companion with these trail marker trees. It's a trail, Native American trail that goes all the way up, I believe, to Lake Superior. So, and not to forget this, on June 17th, we worked really, really hard on this conservation fair. We invited over 70 conservation organizations, and the idea was bringing people together and seeing the good work that all these organizations have done, and also sharing and having, you know, this relationship that we're all together and trying to make our environment a healthier, better place, and fulfilling our mission, you know, as an organization. So that's on the 17th at the Snowflake Arena. We're going to have great talent. Greta and Frisk are going to be playing, and good food provided by the Lions Club. So we hope you will come and meet some of the people that are doing amazing things. In July, we're having Dr. Robert Bonin. He's going to be teaching us about dragonflies. He's an expert. I've heard amazingly good things about him, and so it should be a really good program. And then the next day, we're going to go on a field trip to Wood Lake, and we're going to do some hand-on things with dragonflies. So it'll be a great opportunity for everyone. Make sure you sign up for these, because not all of our programs, this one costs, not all of our programs do, but they fill up quickly. So if you're really interested, we have to limit it, so it's a meaningful experience for people who attend. So sign up early. In August, we're really excited. Nancy Nye Hunt, she'll be sharing a book, Aldo Leopold's Shack, Nina's Story. This is a story from one of Leopold's daughter's point of view of growing up and going to the shack every weekend. So it's going to be an interesting presentation. The Land O'Lakes Library is also coordinating with us, and they're going to be having books on each one of our speakers' topics that you can check out and look at. And they're also going to be showing for that month of Aldo Leopold, they're going to have a showing of Green Fire, which is a book about his forward conservation thinking and how his enduring influence has shaped the modern conservation movement and continues to inspire us. His eminent environmental work in wilderness conservation and wildlife preservation. Oh, September brings us the amazing and inimitable Joe Kaplan. If you've heard Joe speak, you know what I'm saying about him. He's just a dynamic, full energy, exciting man, and his expertise, loons and birds. He's with the Coastal Research and Conservation Organization. It's a nonprofit dedicated to study and protection of Great Lakes migratory birds and the lands and waters in which they depend. So Kaplan's just delightful, he's knowledgeable, and he's able to communicate in a real personable way. He's fun. So don't miss that. He's just an expert on our much-loved loons, and so we're really looking forward to him. And also in September, we're going to do a tour of the Kemp Research Station in Woodruff. It's dedicated to research, instruction, and outreach concerning the management, conservation, and sustainable use of northern Wisconsin's natural resources. We had Scott Bowe, he's the professor and wood product specialist and director there. We had him speak last summer. So he will be leading this, owning this hike, this be a great time. So make sure you write it in your calendar. And our last month, to finish out in October, our speaker will be Dave Dempsey, and he's from Flow. I heard him speak a few years ago at a UPEC conference, and I remembered him because he was just a really compassionate, caring, really wise man. And the organization is Flow, For Love of Water, and it's a nonprofit organization dedicated to ensuring the waters of the Great Lake Basin are healthy, public, and protected for all. Dave has worked as an environmental policy and international policy advisor, and worked with the International Joint Commission and various nonprofit organizations. He is also the author of 12 books, and he's a good writer. It's a good read. It's not dry. You know, sometimes books can be a little too scientific, but he's just a very exciting, interesting author. And so don't miss meeting Dave, and that will be our last meeting. And Dave is just a down-to-earth man. He really cares about our waters, our groundwaters and our surface waters, and don't miss that one. And our last outing then is going to be with our well-known and much-loved John Bates. And we're going to hike through the woods right here on Lowenwood campus and enjoy and learn about old growth forests. So it should be a delightful, beautiful time in October, early fall, when all the leaves are changing color. So I hope you take note of this. There's brochures out there you can take home and mark your calendars, and please come. So now, I'll just share about Dennis. I first contacted Dennis about 6 years ago after reading his book, Native American Trail Marker Trees, Marking Paths Through the Wilderness. I was just fascinated by it, by his research and his dedication to it. And then I thought, as program chair, then I thought, oh, what a great speaker this would be to bring up here. And it's taken all this time to get Dennis up here. And I'm really grateful to him for his sacrifice and coming up. We had a lot of obstacles in our way. We had COVID, and just a lot of things happened between then and now. But here he is. And I thought it might never happen, but he's here. And I'm very happy and grateful to him. When I think about Dennis, I think about the word persevere. It's a significant word that we don't use much anymore. And its qualities and characteristics suggest a virtue that sustains us through life. Persevere. It means to continue striving in spite of difficulties. The old French and Latin tells us it means very strict or thoroughly sacrificial, self-discipline, willpower. It means to exert continued effort toward a purpose. It is always commendable and points to traits of honor and commitment in times of perhaps great trials and challenges. But perseverance proves our character, and proven character brings hope, and hope does not disappoint. Dennis Downs has given us such a significant gift in his years of research and finding these old trail marker trees of Native Americans. He's preserved and protected these trees and chronicled them in his book and his artwork, his amazing, beautiful artwork. His interactions with so many Native American groups, children, all of us, he's made connections and friendships that might not have existed otherwise. And in so doing, he's shown us, just as these trees have persevered when bent and doubled over unnaturally, they persevered and they grew upright, again, even though challenged by the tides that forced them to bend. And in that change, that force, that bending, these trees grew and then showed everyone the way to walk, the way to go, the path to follow, to walk in a good way. Dennis is showing us in his life and his life's work the good way, the good path. Please welcome Dennis Downs.
Ken?
Yep, we're good.
Just give I'd like to introduce my wife.
The wife's name is Gail.
I was going to get there. Forgive me if I hesitate a little. I'm on oxycodone and extremely powerful. What am I?
Steroids.
Steroids.
So
I can be here. I'll never recover from stage 4 cancer. It's been a 6-year battle, but I was not going to miss this show. Wisconsin means more to me than. This isn't just an appearance and a check. I've spent a great deal of my lifetime in Wisconsin. I'm on the Illinois border. I'm a mile from you, so it's not like we're in Europe. And Idaho, Wisconsin, and Illinois are near and dear to me. My father's father was up here in this area. My mother's people are from Mountain Home, Idaho. She came back, and my life has been based on those two major groups. But I'd just like to thank Carol, Mason, Cheryl. The effort she made was incredible to get a hold of us in an intelligent, thoughtful way. My assistant and I, over 10, 20,000 emails from all over the country, can tell when someone cares.
okay, Dennis has never been emotional in his life, and now with chemo he gets
It's the drugs.
He get emotional. So one thing is, trail marker trees for Dennis are an irrational passion. So we've been together 22 years, and back 20 years ago, I thought if he got his book written, that it would lessen some of the passion. He talks about it like all day long. So even when the book got done, that just kind of accelerated it because it brought a lot more people in that got to know about trail trees. So we do call it a rational passion, and he has got it.
The book took 28 years of research. I'm not talking about putting my fingers on a keypad. I made a promise I would not have a cell phone until the project was completed. So I was incommunicado. I went to 41 states, 5 provinces, Scotland to research the standing stones there, and went through 3 Ford pickup trucks, putting 200,000 to 300,000 on each of them. And I'm only 2 miles from the grocery store. So being alone, you not only learn more, you pay attention more, because your life depends on it. Adventures with a group of people are called fun. Even a tragedy can be laughed at and be fun. When you're alone, everyone knows you're alone, and then don't have a cell phone. My wife didn't even know where I was for 3 or 4 weeks at a time over the years. But Gail is not a Vanna White. Gail is a highly intelligent, great partner. She's been probably in 22 years, maybe 40 sites out of state, attended lectures, just been an incredible partner. If I can't speak trail marker tree, Gail can now. And it's greatly appreciated. Oh, sorry.
All right, so we want to get into trail marker trees. And one of the questions is, how many people actually know of what a trail marker tree is? Can you just raise your hand? All right, so we have some
That's a pretty intelligent crowd. Just so you don't feel you're alone, as of last month, almost 4 million people have acknowledged the study, the lectures, the books, the movies I'm in, or have met me in person. I never thought that would ever happen in my lifetime. And that has helped educate children, both Native American and Caucasian. And I try at the end of my lectures to make the point that we were not all hostile towards the Indians. That's fake. Especially in Illinois and Wisconsin, we had wonderful working relationships with a number of the tribes. Some of the kids at lectures that I give, I let them know, your great-grandfather might have actually known this chief or that chief. And their eyes light up, and both of the kids, the Indians, and they like hearing something positive and not just being beaten with one-sided news reports. So the purpose, I know a lot of you are fairly educated about it, but there are still myths. And that's cool. Myths usually, if you really work them, they come from something historic. There's always some basis, or it wouldn't last as a myth. Hopefully as a rule. The trail marker trees were not to tell you where the main trail was. The main trails were extremely worn in the earth. Native Americans did not wander aimlessly through the forest. They were terrified, also being lost, separated from their people, attacked and taken prisoner by other tribes. You paid attention. The trees were to get you off of the trail as exit signs act for our tollways, to get you to the location you are going to, something humans needed, not animal trails. Sure, you could follow a buffalo trace or a deer trail. It's not going to take you to a chert deposit. It's not going to take you to an exposed copper deposit. It's not going to take you to your ancestors' burial site. These things were taught as a pup, and in their time, oral history was all history. It's basically still remained that way in 90% of the tribes. Your life depending on knowing where to cross that river on a rock